There's 6 needs we as humans have. I call them yield signs when somebody dies. We don't do our mourning and we're done. We get off to a good start. So a funeral's a rite of initiation, helping people get off to that good start if it's a meaningful funeral. And to do that, we want to acknowledge the reality that someone has died. 2, to create conditions in the ceremony where they can befriend their pain, that instead of feeling any kind of shame around feeling sadness or protest or whatever their instinctive response might be, it needs to be allowed for. I call it befriending the pain of the loss. The 3rd need of mourning is to remember the person who's died. So an essential element, the one that's most long-lasting in my experience, is the period of a funeral when we realize how we were touched by this person's life. We go backward. We recall memories of them throughout their life. 4th, we need to work to develop a new sense of who we're going to be, because we all have mirrors in our life. They help us know who we are. I was for years a son. I'm a husband. I'm a brother. I'm a best friend. When somebody in your life dies, you don't just flip a switch and go, now I know who I am. You actually have what we call identity diffusion, where you try to figure out, who am I going to be without somebody? So a meaningful funeral helps you kind of get off to a good start of looking at knowing your world's going to be different without your mom in it or your dad in it or your brother in it. And you need support when you start to look at that. The 5th need is to be able to search for meaning. When somebody dies that's brought meaning to our life, we don't wake up the next day and go, oh, I can't wait to go to work. We may question whether we want to even get our feet out of bed. So a good funeral also helps us have a place to begin to search for meaning. I always say, those who do not search do not find. And mystery, which death is anchored in mystery, the ancient name for God, means something to be pondered, not explained. So we need to be able to come together and search for meaning, and know we don't have all the answers, but we're here together as we search. And the 6th need is to have ongoing support long after the death, to not just support people initially, but when we have meaningful funerals, it says to our community, please come now, but please don't forget me in the months ahead. So if you see me on the street 6 months from now, a year and a half from now, and it'll mean a lot to me if you say, how are you surviving since your mom died? And then I'll know you truly care from your heart. So those are 6 reasons that since the beginning of time, we need to come together and have ceremony, because they help us begin to, 1, acknowledge the reality, 2, to recall, 3, to activate support, to express, to have meaning, which leads to transcendence. And those interface with my 6 yield signs or needs of mourning. Acknowledge the death, remember the life, activate support, develop a new self-identity, search for meaning. You get ongoing support long after the death.